Peace, peace, peace. What's going on, y'all? It's Masta Phi, co-founder of HHSTV, and I'm just linking up with y'all today, kind of on an impromptu discussion to talk about the comments that Vick made, which is obviously going viral now, to Colin Kaepernick about cutting his hair. If you guys want to call in, please call in at 412-440-7233. And you guys can call in now. I'd like to hear your comments, all your opinions about everything that Vick said. It's very interesting. We're really going to get into it. I'm just setting up shop real quick. I know I got some of my co-founders out there as well, and they'll be calling in a bit. But please join us at 412-440-7233. Let's see this real quick. Still setting up shop. All right. Getting it all set up. Thanks for being patient, y'all. All right. So basically, I saw the comments that Vick said. Basically, he's trying to say that Colin Kaepernick, in order to get a job, he should cut his hair and fix his image in order to be more, to be taken more seriously, essentially. And this is real interesting on so many levels for the fact that Vick himself was convicted of, dogfighting. He spent 18 months in jail. NFL crucified him for the charges that were brought against him. I mean, and I was kind of outraged that if anybody can speak on it, people were saying if anybody could speak on it, it was Vick. But I mean, at the same time, like my homie Brandon said, Colin Kaepernick went to a Super Bowl. Vick he went to the playoffs. First quarterback to ever rush for 1,000 yards. But, for him to criticize Kaepernick on what he's doing, considering Vick is, I believe, I don't know if it was a felony or not, but he did go to jail for what he did. Colin Kaepernick didn't commit a crime. The man just had an afro, had a very specific reason why he was protesting. Hence why he took a knee, which was controversial during the national anthem, silently, didn't make a whole bunch of noise, didn't make no racket. And even the coach of the 49ers, Chip Kelly, he even gave a comment. I don't know if it was on ESPN magazine or what, but he said Colin Kaepernick, as far as how he felt about social issues, he never brought that to the locker room. He was never a distraction in the locker room. He was a leader. He followed orders. He kept certain personal thoughts that could boost, or not even necessarily boost, but cause friction and morale to go down in the locker room. He never did any of that. But he did take his knee, obviously, out before the game during the national anthem, which caused an uproar. Silently. No criminal record. So Vick is talking like he might be able to re-enter the NFL if he fixes his image. And let's not forget about Vick when he came in, very flashy, pretty much electrified the QB position when it came to dual threat quarterbacks. There have been a couple in history, but Michael Vick really put his own little stamp on it in NFL history. I get it. You know, he was flashy. He had cornrows. He was doing his thing when he was on top. You feel me? So they really kind of did the same thing and were still accepted. Now, the big contradiction is the NFL. That's a shout out to Roland because he made a good point about that too. Was the NFL is very inconsistent with how they discipline players in the league. I mean, you got domestic abuse charges, you got performance enhancing drug users, you got well, marijuana is kind of iffy or whatever. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence about that, but you got people with money issues, you got people with criminal charges, crazy charges, right? And the league somehow is able to finagle them in to where owners can know how to keep certain things hush. Certain penalties are weighted heavier than others, yet everybody still gets to do their thing, even if like you hit your wife or headbutt your wife in the face. I mean, damn, what does it take to get kicked out the league? Oh, exercise your First Amendment rights in a non-criminal fashion, and nobody want to mess with you. And I'm not a big stat person in terms of knowing every single stat for Colin Kaepernick, but for the last 2 years that he's played, when he did start and when he was able to go in games, he is still very efficient when you put him in comparison with other backup QBs, not starters, but backups. So he can get a job somewhere. So I don't know why everybody's trying to say like the man can't play anymore. I'm not comparing his stats from the last 2 years against starting quarterbacks. But if we're going to compare him trying to get a starting job amongst backup QBs and people saying he's not good enough for a backup, that is wrong. I think that is very wrong. Let's go to the comments real quick. Got Bodek. She said, I'm tired of everyone policing black people's bodies. He can't knee or he can't have his hair grow out of his head. Just stop. And I agree. She said, goes for other black folks that support and reinforce this ridiculous type of oppression. No one, especially Vick, needs to tell another man or woman or child how to wear their hair. And that's a great point, because how many characters do we have in the NFL? You got people tatted up, bald. You got, what's it to do with Incognito, the one lineman saying racist stuff. You got Riley Cooper saying racist stuff for the Eagles. I mean, what is acceptable and what's not? Yet people still got jobs. And the real issue, the elephant in the room, is the fact that Colin Kaepernick is taking a knee because he feels the anthem doesn't represent him as an American, because people who look like him are facing police brutality at a disproportionate percentage against everybody else. And we are a minority in this country, yet we're over incarcerated. Yet we don't get fair justice and equal justice in the justice system. Those are a lot of good reasons, considering we're Americans. If we all Americans, those are really good reasons to maybe take a knee. And I love the fact that he did it. I am a military veteran and I catch a lot of heat for it, but I know a lot of veterans that agree with me too. A lot of people serve because we like to see people exercise their constitutional rights. Now, I might not agree with how people do it. I might not agree with, how much I disagree with it, but that's their First Amendment right. So, I get it. And I love the fact that he is exercising that, yet he's still being ostracized, and owners are acting like they can't give him a job, like he's not good enough, and saying it's a playing ability, when all the owners, really, the man went to a Super Bowl. Obviously, you guys don't want the attention, which I can understand to some degree. But, I mean, his last head coach said the man is a leader in the locker room. There is nothing wrong with his playing ability. There is something else going on here where they're trying to stay away from that. Someone that's trying to stand up for black oppression in this country. The man is black. He's not going to cut his hair. He shouldn't have to cut his hair considering in the NFL how much leeway they have giving people playing time and some little reduced charge with a little reduced sentence or a fine when it comes to domestic abuse. And you talking about a man's fro and talking about how the man. Oh, we getting a call. Let's see what's going on. Let's see.
From Jacob Greenhampton. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Please, this is Hip Hop Success. You're on the line. Speak your name and also state where you from.
What's going on? What's going on, man? It's Jay Crane, man. Out here, man. Virginia representing the great Hampton University. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, man? So how do you feel about what Michael Vick said, considering him suggesting that that Colin Kaepernick would have a better or easier time getting in the NFL if he cut his hair? Like, how do you feel about that?
So I understand what Mike was saying about perception and image. Coming from Hampton University, I remember I had to take out my earrings and make a speech. And I remember when I was looking at different programs in the NBA, in the NBA program, at one point I had dreads, and cats couldn't have dreads to be in the NBA program in Hampton. So I get what Vick was saying, even though Vick was coming from the place he messed up and he had to change his image to try to go to court and things like that. And they teach you that. They teach you to clean up, which are braids and everything. But at the end of the day, I think Cap, I think he made the decision knowing that there was going to be sacrifices to be made. And I didn't know, and we didn't know that it was going to be this good of sacrifice where this man doesn't have a job.
Okay, so I got a question for you. So how do you feel about the inconsistencies that the NFL does when it, chooses what kind of consequence weighs more than another when you got people running around with domestic abuse charges, all kind of crazy criminal charges, still playing in the league, yet this man took a knee, looks the way he does. It's not going to change. The afro's not going anywhere. Super Bowl going quarterback. He's been to the Super Bowl, had an appearance, and yet he can't get a job. And he is better than most backups in the league anyway. So he's got somewhere for a job. So how do you feel about the NFL not being consistent with that? Like, obviously there's an elephant in the room and everybody's just trying to, shy away around it and nobody wants to speak on it when we all really know what it is. But how do you feel about that?
Right, we like you said, we know what time it is. We know what time it is. I think if there was any time that we wanted to make a stand and make some noise, and we had a group text talking about fantasy league, it would take, I said 50%. My man said only 15%. He would be happy with 10-15%. The black players all use the term African American. I use black. Jesse Jackson came with the African American, but anyway, black players boycott. They just boycott, and they make a strike. That would send volumes, but it's going to take something like that to really hit those white owners in their pockets.
I agree. I agree with you in boycotting, but I think it's interesting, and I don't think Michael Vick is all to blame on here. I'm not a fan of Jason Whitlock and his show. He's been saying, he's been all over the place, and I don't know if he has some influence in why Michael Vick said what he said, but he was definitely on the same frequency that Jason Whitlock be on, hating on Colin Kaepernick. So I saw a little consistency there, maybe even some bias. I don't know truly. But, I'm not a big fan of Jason Whitlock either and how he's been criticizing Colin Kaepernick and this whole image thing. Like, players come in. Look at Deion Sanders. That man was flashy as hell. And he's the best cornerback in NFL history. And he was outlandish, and you know, Colin Kaepernick literally sat in his corner, took a knee, and this man can't even get a job. I mean, I just see a huge contradiction in people that are criticizing him, and yet, you know, he's still being ostracized for exercising his First Amendment rights and still doesn't have a job. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But we got some other people calling in, Jacob. Hey, man, I really appreciate you calling in, man. Shout out to Dream Chaser Academy. I love what you're doing out there, man. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, man, I'm gonna watch the show, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks.
All right, man. Peace. If anybody else would like to call in, please do. 412-440-7233. And is there going to be an NFL boycott? I don't know. Should there be? Probably. You know, but it's hard to organize even at a grassroots level. I mean, people love football in this country and this and that, but I think it's getting to a point where it might shock enough people into. All right, we got another call coming in. Appreciate y'all calling in.
Rod. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Peace. It's Philip Tondero, co-founder of HipHopSuccess.tv. State your name and where you at.
Yeah, this is Rob from North Virginia area.
Rob, what's going on?
What's going on, man? How's it going?
We're doing good, man. Talking about this Michael Vick suggestion of telling Colin Kaepernick to cut his hair, man. He tripping. What you think?
Well, to be anything that I'm at the same time, freedom of speech and put myself out there. I personally feel like I agree with Vic.
You agree with Vic? Why?
So they saying, now, with him saying he needs to cut his hair, I don't necessarily think that's what he needs to do. And he's talking about cleaning up his image. Now, his hair is throwed out, so that's why he cut his hair. If he had a long beard and he had a clean shaved head or whatever, he would say, cut your beard. So he's trying to say, you're trying to get it done. So you need to make a change to your image that shows the owner, like, okay, I'm making a change or something like that. I mean, you're trying to get something. They don't have to give it to you, so you're going to have to do something to show them to let you back in. That, okay, maybe he did change, and he's saying make a drastic move, which is cut your hair. Or, like I said, if he had a long beard, they'd be like, cut your beard. You know, there's something drastic that's going to get attention and make them turn their head.
Okay, so I feel like they tiptoeing around the issue because the real issue. I think they have real talk.
Okay.
I think they have a real issue with the afro and its symbolism. We got people in there with dreads. We got people in there with ugly dreads. We got people in there just ugly. We got people that are bald. We got people that got straight hair. Like what is changing the image does not change the issue. That's how I feel. It's not going to change the issue. That's why I have an issue.
Yeah, but they're saying change your image to get attention, get the attention, get their heads to look at you and take you seriously. Not change the image so that now because I cut my hair, now I'm a great player with it, but that's going to get them to raise their eyebrow and look at you and pay attention to you. Now you got to say something that's meaningful now that you got their attention. That's what it's going to be up to you. Just because he shaves his head off doesn't mean he's checking it different initially when he's filling out the application. So,
yeah, but I think the NFL needs to change. I think they need to change their image. Shout out to Roland Hilliard for saying that. That was a great point. Like, why does Colin Kaepernick hasn't even done anything criminal? So why is he having to do all these changes? Yet all these other people that are, you know, some have criminal records, some of them guilty of, just have done offenses that have had consequences and fines. They're still in the league getting money, and he's not the worst player in the NFL. So why did?
Yeah.
I feel like they tiptoeing around the issue, bro.
That's that's true. A couple of things is one, and their rules. You want to play them, you got to play by them. If you don't, you get kicked out.
Okay.
Simple as that. As far as the NFL not being, the same punishments for everybody, I will say they have been pretty consistent on the punishment for being the players for bringing negative attention to the league.
Yeah.
Look at so if you can he's good as backup quarterback and stuff like that. Yeah, somebody could give him a chance, but is it worth the headache to give him a chance when you can give another backup without all the headache that comes with it?
But it's not a headache. That's another thing. Chip Kelly came out and said that is not. He is a leader in the locker room. He doesn't talk about any of that stuff in the locker room. He did his thing out on. It took the knee silently. He ain't running around the field butt naked or making a scene or whatever. He just taking the knee quietly, not bothering nobody. He goes, he does his thing on the field. He comes back at practice in the locker rooms. He's not a distraction. He's a leader. He doesn't talk about that kind of stuff in the locker room. I don't see, and it's the head coach that said that. I don't understand why people are acting like, I understand the controversy maybe of people hiring him, but I can see it. I'm not blind. I understand why they might want to stay away from that media static. I get it. But I feel that's still not enough evidence to show that a team should really all these teams are just tiptoeing around them. You feel me? But Rob, I want to thank you for calling in, man. Like I said, I disapprove with the comments. I appreciate Rob calling. Same thing with Jacob calling in. They kind of agree with what Mike Vick said to some degree. They do agree with them. And Rob, I really appreciate you calling in, man.
No problem, man. Take care.
All right, man. Peace. Yeah, I don't know, man. The NFL is real sideways. The only thing I see consistent in the NFL now is BS pass interference calls. So, that's really it. Like, we got some comments. Let me go up in here. Appreciate y'all calling in, commenting. My man Kashif Winston said, it's not about cutting hair. For many players have dreads. It's all about putting a boy in his place. I feel you. Bodek said, and this is why we need to own teams and such. They did the same stuff back in the day with black musicians and other entertainers that spoke out. White venues. We got another caller calling in. Just a second, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in and engaging.
HHSTV. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press
2. Peace. What's going on, y'all? State your name and where you at.
Coach Tony Brace, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, man, we got Coach Tony Brace, fellow co-founder of HipHopSuccess.tv calling in, man. Coach, what's going on, man? Tell me something, man.
What's going on with you, man? Great topic. Off the cuff is trending. And I think it's something that is definitely a great choice to discuss within the hip-hop community. It all, for me, man, it boils down to the values and the principles that you subscribe to. You know what I'm saying?
True.
It's the haves and the have-nots. And the people that are in power, they're flexing their power. It's clear as day. They don't want to have nothing to do with, a black player, an African-American player demonstrating any political stance in their game. You know what I mean? They'd rather deal with a racist, unfortunately, than to have that. The reasons why, it's all political, man. And we can go back into, hundreds of years of history or thousands of years of history and examine mankind's mindset and behavior. You know what I mean? So what I think Michael Vick was doing is exactly what Colin Kaepernick posted on his Instagram about the
Stockholm syndrome. Yes, that was awesome. I'm glad he did that. That was fly.
Before I continue, do you want to kind of summarize and sum up for the folks what that definition is?
So essentially what Stockholm syndrome is when you've been, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if you've been in a system for so long, whether it's positive, whether it's negative, you've been controlled in that system for so long, a part of that system for so long, even if it had negative effects against you. Once something counters that and tries to pull you away to get you out, you will defend that system that was controlling you in a negative way, or in whatever type of way, that you will protect, essentially in this case, something that was essentially holding you down or restricting you from something. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So let's just use, metaphors and analogies. Computer technology, intelligence. That's what it comes down to. We got artificial intelligence. So with that being said, Michael Vick is just showing and demonstrating the conditioning in the program that he went under his rehab. And I think that what he's trying to do is tell Colin Kaepernick, hey man, this is how you need to play the game if you want to get in. And he could have said that to him behind the closed doors if that's the case.
And that's where I feel
his hair and all these cultural inappropriations is out of line, because that just continues the stereotype that if you have an afro, or that if you have cornrows, the attachments are you're a bad person.
Oh, and I saw Jason Whitlock.
That's unfortunate, and I think Michael Vick wasn't savvy enough to filter that out. He didn't understand the consequences of the statement. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, man, and I feel Jason Whitlock played into that too. He was like, Michael Vick, you used to have cornrows, the gold chains. He said the hip hop image. Dude, I cannot stand when people throw some sort of negative connotation with hip hop, like cornrows and gold chains is bad, or hip hop is bad. Like, he is one of those dudes, man. Like, I got some heat for that dude, man. Like, I can't stand the way he just ostracizes and attacks hip hop culture and just black people trying to represent themselves in some kind of space that they don't necessarily control. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it comes down to, capitalism unfortunately puts you in a position of independence or non-independence, meaning that in some way, some form, you're handcuffed to a superior. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, for most people, it's a very close superior, aka their manager, boss, supervisor, something like that. So when I hear people calling in, even though I disagree with them, talking about, maybe Kaepernick can play the game, it goes back to that Stockholm syndrome, or they're playing the game, it's just a bunch of tap dancing, if you will.
Tap dancing, hello.
Straight and direct and saying, you know what, everybody can learn from this situation. What can the NFL learn to do differently? Not just put it all on Colin Kaepernick. And with that being said, man, I know there's other callers in. I want to say thank you for the service, because you put your life on the line, and your family members and my family members have put their life on the line to serve in this country, so we have this right to speak about these things. And of course, we created this platform, HipHopSuccess.tv, for the people, because people often they get it twisted, man. There was an article that came out about Forbes magazine. The music component of hip hop is the biggest genre on earth. It's
Absolutely.
confirmed by the Billionaires Club. Okay, but that's just one component. Just the music. This is a culture. This is art. This is thinking. This is feeling. This is philosophy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is fashion. This is language. This is frequency. So shout out to all the people that's been down with us in the community. So many people. You can go down the list in the comments. We appreciate it. Once we're in the process of getting some things that we want to get here in this life, we will never forget those that help put us on. So that's all I want to say, man. Great topic. I'm going to continue to listen in.
Absolutely, Coach. Again, Coach Tony Brace, HipHopSuccess.tv co-founder, calling in. I appreciate the call, Coach.
No doubt. I'll holler at you. Peace.
All right, man. Peace. Yeah, man, that was a great point. And it's still ridiculous to me that all this is going on. They still not... I feel the NFL's tap dancing around the issue. Them owners and their little millionaires club, they don't want none of that. But they know what it is. They know that what he's doing is real. and that he has a point, but they just don't want to address it. They just want to make money and make sure everybody keep their head down and shut up and color. You feel me? That's what's going on, man. They don't want to talk about it. Like they don't want to deal with it. So I don't agree with the stats and him. He can get a job in the NFL. Stop. Stop. Y'all need to stop. Please call in at 412-440-7233. I want to hear from you guys. Thanks for all the comments. We got some more comments. Let's see what we got. We got all right. Okay, Roland said you basically feel sympathy for your captors. That's essentially what I was saying. Thanks, Roland. For Stockholm syndrome. That's what. Okay, hold on. We got another caller coming in.
From
Brandon Johnson.
to accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Peace. Thanks for calling in. It's Masta Phi, hiphopsuccess.tv. Please state your name and where you at.
Masta Phi was good. This is Brandon Johnson calling you by way of Raptor City, South Dakota.
Hey, got B-Dot calling in, the Brain Trust, man. What's going on, man? You agree with Mike Vick or he on some BS?
Come on, man. Come on. Mike Vick he's tripping right now. And I want to put all this stuff to the rest right now.
And speak up a little bit.
If we examine the numbers, I want to put all this Kaepernick wasn't playing well stuff to a wrestling. So we can look at the stats. Colin Kaepernick played 12 games, and as a quarterback, he was rated number 37 in QBR and 29th in passing yards. There's 32 teams in the NFL. Only 17 starting quarterbacks, had a higher QBR than Colin Kaepernick last year. So there's no way that Mike Vick can even comment on the brothers' play on the field.
Right.
When he's playing for the absolute worst offensive team in passing yards in the NFL. So right then and there, we can throw that whole argument that he wasn't playing well out the window.
Thank you. Yes.
So next we'll go to what he said about his political stance. Out of all the players in the NFL who took a knee during the national anthem, Colin Kaepernick is the only player that's not signed to an NFL team right now.
Which is crazy.
So what does that tell you?
I mean, they tiptoe. They don't want to touch that issue that he's representing because what he's representing is a serious issue. It's like they just don't want to go near that heat, yet they coming up with every excuse why he can't work or get a job in the NFL. He ain't the face of the franchise. Like, people don't want that static with they face of the franchise. Get out of here, man. Like, the man's head coach came out and said the man is a leader. Everybody's lying, talking about he's a distraction. That man did whatever he had to do on the field, like I said over and over. He's not a distraction. He keeps yeah, go ahead.
So let's dive into that he's a distraction, that he's that good. So Colin Kaepernick's major endorsements were Beats and another apparel company. Neither one of those endorsers dropped him, nor did Nike, who handed out shoes and jerseys and whatnot at his camp, at his Know Your Right camp. And then at the NFL, his jersey sales went through the roof last season.
Right.
And then if you talk about his image and how he's bad for business, bad for the team, no one was talking about the 49ers, period, except for about Colin Kaepernick.
And sales were booming. Them jersey sales was booming.
He won his team's most prestigious award, the Echelon, for inspiration and courage. And that is a team-nominated award by players and coaches alike. And that's in 2016. The only other NFL award that he won was in 2013 in the ESPYs for the Breakout Athlete of the Year when he took over the team and led them to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So how can we sit here and really have a real debate? How can Jason Whitlock or any other analyst, reporter, journalist, executive, insider come out and say that Colin Kaepernick has damaged his image? Because according to what I just read to you guys, he hasn't done anything wrong.
and nothing criminal. So what are we talking about? And this whole notion of cutting the fro, stop. The man can play with a helmet. I mean, play with a fro, put the helmet on. I mean, you got bald people, you got people with dreads, you got all kind of stuff going on in the NFL, tats, all kind of inconsistency. I mean, there is no real image with the player. You play and you get paid. That's what you do. Okay? So all the image stuff, I don't want to hear it. Y'all can go somewhere with that mess and kick rock. It don't make sense. Now, I can understand if you want to get in the league, they have some sort. Where is the standard? Because changing it, where's the standard of how you need to look to play in the NFL? Like, I want, if someone can post a link, what's the image? Because I see all kind of images. I see flashy. I see conservative. I mean, the man got an afro and some tats, bruh. And you talk about his image. He need to no, they don't need to do that. He didn't do nothing wrong. He has no stain on his record, personal record, no criminal record, and the man is still being held from a job, considering he is not the worst QB in the league. There's plenty. He could definitely be a second string, if not a starter. I can get it if he's not a starter. I get it. You know, I mean, he's not, you know, at his prime anymore. But don't tell me the brother can't play and he's not better than some second string quarterbacks. Like, get out of here with that, man. But yo, Beat, I appreciate you calling in with the comments, bruh. Hold it down, South Dakota. We're gonna link up real soon. It's going down, bro.
No doubt. All right, thanks, bro.
All right, man. Peace. Anybody else that wants to call in, please do. 412-440-7233. Probably be wrapping up in a little bit. If you guys want to call in real quick, get a last comment in. Please comment, share this discussion with your friends. I mean, I want to know. This really just went down. I want to know how people really feel about it. Okay, we got some more comments. Rob said, you can't say it's not bringing publicity and distraction. Otherwise, it wouldn't still be in the news. This is a day and age where you're in the news and out next week. And this is what, months later? So why would I, as an owner, waste my money on the unneeded distraction? Nobody is going to come to the game just to see him. So he isn't putting money in the owner's pockets. Look at Ezekiel Elliott. He's been in the news how many times since the season ended? And it quickly gets brushed away because he's putting butts in seats. You are absolutely right. We got another calling in. Just a second.
Call from Roland. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Peace. Masta Phi with HipHopSuccess.tv. State your name and where you at.
Hey, what's going on, Masta Phi? This is Roland from DC.
Word. All right, man. Roland, I seen you going in the comments. I see what's going on in there, man. What you think about what Vick said?
I think Vick is 100% right if Colin Kaepernick was a convict or going before a judge or going before some kind of panel. You
Right.
don't do that in the NFL. He is not on trial. He's not in trouble. This man has done nothing illegal, as you've stated a billion times, as everybody stated a million times. He does not need to cut his hair, put on a shirt and tie for what? There's no forum where that's plausible.
Thank you.
A trial does not consist of dressing up and cutting your hair and all this other stuff. No player in NFL history has ever gone through something like that. Michael Vick cut his hair, put on the suit and tie because he was going to court.
Right.
Colin Kaepernick will not be in a courtroom.
Thank you.
He's not going to be out there on the 50-yard line with a suit on, wingtips, trying to throw 15, 20-yard out routes.
Right. Thank you. So, Ro, I want to ask you because I saw what you was posting in the threads. Like, that was real interesting. You said the NFL needs to change their image. Explain that, because I like that.
Yeah, basically, people like Michael Vick and others around the league, say that Colin Kaepernick needs to do this, needs to do that, needs to do this, that, and the third. Nobody has said what the NFL needs to do. Colin Kaepernick has not done anything wrong again, He's not the one who has the messed up image. He's the one, he's got his money. He's been to the Super Bowl. Yes, he wants to continue to play. he's got a squeaky clean image for the most part, legally. So he's not the one with the image problem. The NFL is the one with the image problem. They're the ones employing people. My favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys. You got people dropping left and right for charges. Ezekiel Elliott, he's about to be suspended for having this game. Tom Brady's getting charges left and right. Ben Roethlisberger's getting charged left and right. Nobody's speaking on any of that stuff. There's countless stuff going on out there. People with bad images that are not cutting their hair, not getting tattoos removed, not having to do anything, but just basically shut up and play. That's what they want Colin Kaepernick to do. That's not what he has to do. The NFL needs to take a stand and, start rewarding these players that are doing good in the community. And, they're the ones with the image problem.
Thank you. They're the ones. And mind you, all the people that Roland just stated, Roethlisberger, Brady, Ezekiel, legal issues, legal. Colin Kaepernick is not doing anything criminally negligent to deserve this type of ostracization. Please, Roland, thank you for hitting it on the nail. I'm just saying, I'm glad I'm not the only person. I feel like I'm going crazy just looking at what's going on and people just acting like, hey, it's all the same thing. Like what he's doing, you could put him in the same pile with other people that have, drug charges or domestic abuse. Man, come on, man. For real. We're talking about Colin Kaepernick. He made a Super Bowl appearance. Right. A lot of people in their careers don't get to do that. So what are we talking about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
This is a guy.
Go ahead.
This is a guy who had a higher QB rating than Michael Vick coming out of jail last season.
Hello.
So I don't get it.
Yeah, man.
Michael Vick played for peanuts, which, hey, he did what he had to do to get back on the field, but Colin Kaepernick is not the same. He's not in the same situation. He's got his money. He's not hurting for money. He wants to continue to play football, but, he's not going to sell himself, at the expense of, his stand.
Thank you. Thank you, man. All right, Roland. Hey, man, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for the comments. Hey, you can call in to agree, disagree. I respect everybody's opinions. Roland, I'm going to holler at you. All right, man?
I appreciate it.
All right, man. Peace. If anybody else has any comments, please call in 412-440-7233. We're talking about the suggestion Michael Vick said to Colin Kaepernick about cutting his hair. How dare you? Let me stop. But still, the man is wilding. And that Bama Jason Whitlock, come on, bruh. Man, you've been spitting that static for I don't know how long. I don't know what and I don't know why not Colin Kaepernick, but Michael Vick even went on Jason Whitlock's show. Man, that dude is a bum. I'm tired of him, man. I'm getting emotional now, y'all. I'm sorry. Please call in 412-440-7233. Man, Brandon made another comment. He said the owner wasn't wasting money if you really look into it. Cap opted out of his contract and took a lesser deal to benefit the team. The team was bad before Cap, and they have been bad with him. They had a star-studded team from 2012 to 2014. Traded away all their assets and lost their coach to the NCAA. He has a point. Definitely has a point. Roland, okay, he's right back in the comments. My man, he said, Elliott is not putting butts in seats. It's the Dallas Cowboys. They will always be sold out, just like the bum skins. That's right. I am a Washington fan. Yes, I am. Ezekiel Elliott had an amazing season. I don't know why he's getting cut. He's a little younger. Doesn't excuse what he's doing. But, you know what I'm saying? Criminal, legal issues. Colin Kaepernick is nowhere near any of that, and yet he still don't got a job. It's ridiculous. But, yeah, y'all, it's getting late, but I want to make this last point. I think it's very interesting that as much respect as the NFL has for the national anthem, America, the flag, constitutional rights, trying to be some sort of, symbol of America and how much pride we have and constitutional rights and freedom, right? So Colin Kaepernick can't get a job because he exercised his First Amendment right, and took a knee silently. And it's it's ironic that he exercised his First Amendment right during the national anthem, taking the knee silently, and the brother can't get a job, and he has no legal issues. It is just ironic. It's unreal. But we do live in the twilight zone for many reasons politically, with Mr. Trump in office, and just the way society's just, reacting to a lot of things, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their freedom to vote and do all kind of things, feel some type of way about Colin Kaepernick or not, but I do feel we live in the twilight zone right now. But, we got another comment. Brandon Johnson said, Fox Sports 1, that's all that needs to be said. We already know what it is. The same network that claims Black Lives Matter is a violent criminal terrorist organization. That's true. And there's a lot of networks that feel like that, which makes no sense to me. And Colin Kaepernick does a lot for the community, man. Like, if y'all just stop looking at his protest, which he's very adamant and very passionate about, and he's very accurate with why he's doing it. And he did it in a very controversial way, but I get it, man. This is a serious issue. He's not dancing around. He's addressing the elephant in the room as an American citizen, tax-paying citizen. He's allowed to do that. He should be allowed to do that. He didn't do anything criminally negligent, so why is he being, ostracized and just casted out of the NFL like he's if it was a really, really bad player, y'all might have some, people might have some ground to stand on to say, hey, he just can't play well. The brother went to a Super Bowl. Come on, y'all. He went to a Super Bowl. He is not. If you match him up with starting QBs, he might be able to slide in there. But you match him up with any second string, you can't tell me he can't get a job and can't get paid. Y'all are not going to hit me with that. I cannot agree with that. Now, getting dressed and looking professional for a job that you want, I absolutely agree with that. You should look the way you want. But at the same time, let's look at what kind of league he's trying to stay in. It's a league that has no standard for image. Look at the people that get to still play with all their criminal records and everything like that. We're beating the dead horse. Stop coming at him about the image. The man that wears an afro has tats and no legal issues. And he can play better than any second string QB, if not some of them in the league. So he has a place in the league. So don't tell me it's an image issue. And Michael Vick being in jail for 18 months, I don't know if he's a felon or not. I just think it's very interesting. He is the one that wanted to speak out and say what he thought about Colin Kaepernick and trying to get back in the league. I just thought that was very interesting, y'all. But hey, man, keep commenting. I appreciate y'all tuning in, giving your comments, calling in, associating, and just working and engaging with hiphopsuccess.tv. I really appreciate you guys' support, continued support. We really try to bring these kind of issues to the forefront of the hip hop community, more positive and constructive content that gives you guys value and makes you think critically. I mean, I think a lot of media platforms don't really do that, but we really try to bring that as our company mission. And I really appreciate you guys just showing the love and support, man. Hey, keep commenting, share this discussion. I mean, it's going to be a hot topic for the next couple of days. We might even hit it up again later this week. But that's enough for me, y'all. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I appreciate it. If you do disagree, I respect you guys' opinions too. All opinions are welcome here. But again, thanks, guys. Masta Phi, hiphopsuccess.tv, signing off. Peace.